Okay. So this guy, Sun Tzu, he's, I think, should be one of the more respected generals in world history, but ultimately I just want to go through the essay and just kind of talk about some certain things that I think are relevant to what Sun Tzu thought and how it's being applied to the modern world. So ultimately what Sun Tzu's philosophy was is he wanted to just figure out a way to subdue the enemy without physically fighting. Okay, and that he talks about in his Art of War, he talks about preparation, he talks about terrain, he talks about cities. What else did he talk about here? He says 7 is about contending armies, chapter 8 and 9 is about contingencies or just plan Bs or alternatives. So he basically, this whole Art of War thing is his kind of his creed of what he believed is the best way to conquer somebody. Now, as we've already discussed in class a couple of times, we talked about how Bill Belichick uses the Art of War to coach his football games, and then with the Vietnam War, the Vietnamese actually, attributed their win to Sun Tzu's Art of War because people like Vo and Giap, who was the general fighting under Ho Chi Minh, I believe, basically said, yeah, we won because we followed the Art of War. Now, America is going to sit there and they're going to say, well, no, that's not true. You guys just won because we didn't want to fight, but that's another story. Ultimately, Sun Tzu, I want to go over some of his quotes, and I'm just going to break them down for you, because ultimately these quotes really kind of help you understand his philosophy, and there's just a few of them I want to go over if I can find them here. Alright, so here we go. So the very first one I'm going to tell you is, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. That's just a fancy way of saying you can kind of make good out of a horrible situation. Okay, and I use an example here. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Hell's Kitchen. It's basically a cooking competition between two teams, and sometimes, crazy things happen, and then all of a sudden it's chaos in the kitchen. But Sun Tzu says, hey, you could also create opportunities through this chaos, because ultimately in the kitchen, Gordon Ramsay is going to look for someone who can command a kitchen, and that's opportunity through chaos. You have an opportunity to lead and get the team back on track. Alright, I'm running out of time here. I only got a minute left. The next one is, if your opponent is of chronic temper, seek to irritate him. That one is probably the most well-known. That one just means, because you can't really control yourself that well when you're angry, if at all. So he basically says, if your enemy is really angry all the time, irritate him. Piss him off. Excuse my language. But that has to do with attacking weaknesses. And then this last one right here is, there is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. That just means that no one really benefits. It has a literal translation, a literal meaning to it. It just means you can't really benefit from war going on 24/7, because there's death. It costs money. It costs resources. You got to think literally constantly, and so I'm going to go over the 5 minutes here by like half a minute. But there was another quote that said, No, I lost it. Oh, a real soldier wants to avoid war because he knows the effects from it. I saw it on YouTube somewhere, and I'm like, wow, that's really good. And then this last one here, this Sun Tzu didn't say this, but there's no atheist in a foxhole, which is just a way of saying, regardless of what religion you are, you're going to be praying for God when everything goes down. So there's another one right here. Where is it? He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. That has to do with self-control, self-discipline, knowing when to fight, knowing when not to fight. And fun fact, General Douglas MacArthur said, I always kept a copy of The Art of War on my desk. So, and I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much. Hopefully this is good enough. If I screwed up, I apologize as far as the timing is concerned. But, thank you. Hope you like Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu, really interesting guy for me. I have a lot of respect for him, to be honest with you. And by the way, another fun fact: the Chinese translation for Art of War is Bing Fa for Chinese. Yeah, so there it is. All right, thank you.